Alright, if you want to learn how to make Dariacore like this, on FL Studio, then I'm about to teach you. But what you're gonna need:
Serum 2 OT Pro MB Pro Q Little Microshift, and last but not least KH's Compactor.
Another thing, this video doesn't count as just Dariacore. This is kind of also an EDM tutorial because I do teach like EDM methods, but you know, tomato tomato. So we're gonna start with a song that I want to sample. It's my own song. Okay, that actually sounds good. I like that. When you make your thing, you should probably sample. Sample whatever music you like, whatever music you listen to. Makes it fun. Oh, wait, this is hard as hell, dude. Okay, this is a perfect sample right here, but I need to slow this down a little bit. So we're gonna put OTT on the vocals. Usually sounds good. Gives it the fresh sound I want. So we're gonna be using Serum for mostly all of this. I'm gonna put it. And if you want, when you make like a little melody, something like this, like an ARP, you can select it and you could flip it to hear how that sounds. Let's hear how that sounds with our sample. And hear if I like that. Now I kind of like it better like this, so we're going to keep that. And this is, you can make a pluck by dragging this down. We're going to add a delay to that. Very hyper poppy. Then we're going to do some chords. So chord is pretty easy. Just a heads up, I'm only going to be using the default wavetable positions for all of these instruments, so you know, it's not going to be very confusing. You're not going to have to make anything new. This is all just default stuff. And for a chord, you want something sharp, something like these. So that's a good chord. That's good for chords. Okay, now we have our chords, a little ARP, and then now we can do our bass. So the biggest thing with the bass is this. A lot of what Dariacore and just EDM in general is sound design. So I'm going to give you an example. So this right here is like pure bass here. If I were to, it's real bassy. And if you zoom into the audio clip of a bass, you'll notice one thing. It is very wavy, and that's what a bass is. Its fundamentals is a wave. That's what makes the bass sound. It's also, you know, what a kick is, basically. If I were to shorten this and then put it right here, it'd be a kick. Very lame kick, but you get the point. Sound design is kind of just paying attention to what things sound like and recreating it. So here, this is a bass. If you bring it low enough, it'll sound like a bass. So nice. Now that is a bass, but it's not the iconic Dariacore bass. To make a Dariacore bass, you need to layer it with, you know, other sounds. So this is a very high frequency wave, and with it, it'll be more that general sound. Now what I like to do is, sometimes it sounds a little too like simple. I'll go over here and I'll put it on comb, and I'll just turn the comb all the way up, and this somewhere either all the way up or close to, and it gives more heavy hitting sound. And then over here in the effects, we can put a multi-band compressor on here, turn up the lows, the highs, and the mids to an acceptable level. And then we can put noise. The highs of a, you know, high frequency hum here, this sound, will collide with the low frequencies of the bass to make a very nice sound, which is also what this shape does right here, but not to the fullest effect of this hum will. And then we could turn up the unison, turn down the detune, and we'll get a little bit more of a wider bass. And then over here we can distort it. And then I like to make a mixer bus, so I'm gonna do that. You don't have to do it, I just like to do it. So I'm gonna soft clipper this, and I'm gonna make all these connect somewhere so they work. The thing that's cool about the square wave is it's kind of a bass and a saw in one. It's kind of a weird shape here, but it has the fullness of a bass and the highs of a saw right in the middle there. So that's great also to add to a bass for a little bit more hit. And then to our chords we can add a little bit of unison too, for that wideness. And then we're gonna go over here. We're gonna put a compressor. You wanna compress, so let me add the compressor to this as well. Compress the hell out of everything. And then on top of that, that's not enough compression. We're gonna put OTT on the mixer here, but not fully. We're gonna 50% on all these knobs here. 50% on the upward and downward, and then 50% on the depth. And you could tweak that as you like with how it sounds. And then for the main sample here, what we're going to do is we're going to edit it a little bit. We're going to put OTT on this. Okay, so now to get more of a hard hitting sound, I'm going to use Pro MB for the bass to turn the bass more up. You can hear how that works. Let me put the OTT over here. So that's nice. And I could do the same over here, do the opposite actually over here. To make the highs really stand out, but then we're kind of missing the melody, so we're going to turn up the mids too. And then in case we missed any, and then we're gonna do this with the vocals to make them wide. You don't really need to do this, but I like wider vocals for Dariacore, so we're gonna use this plugin little microshift to get wider vocals. And then I'm going to limit. This kind of gives like a breakdance type effect with his preset, how he has a limiter on his thing. We're gonna now we're gonna turn this as background sound. Now we're gonna use this as like a pad, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to reach a certain frequency. I don't want any highs because we have instruments that are really high frequency, so we're gonna cut off those highs. And then I don't want anything low, I want the mids. Gee, I do want a little bit high, so we're gonna and then we're gonna, I think I'll put microshift on this too. Oh yeah, we can make this sound cooler with a little bit of slide. Okay, so this is a little high, even though it's supposed to be high, but this is a little bit too much. I'm gonna tame the highs a little bit. I'm gonna do this. So we're gonna start with a bass. Now we're gonna do the chords to add to that. we have that, and then I do have my own kicks that I've made myself. So I'm gonna select a kick, and we're gonna edit it to fit more with the style of Dariacore. I do have a plugin that's really good for sidechaining. So sidechaining is a big part of Dariacore. I have a plugin that does it automatically, Compactor, so I'm going to link that to my kick here so it will sidechain it. And if you don't know what sidechaining is, it's ducking the audio when a kick plays. So you hear right there when the kick plays, the audio ducks. And that's very good sound for Dariacore. And EDM in general does a lot of sidechaining. It's very good. It's a good kick. But I will. And then we can get some snares. I have snares. Let me get like a very Dariacore snare. This one's very Dariacore. And then we're gonna cut that. We're gonna and then we're gonna make the mids a little bit. And then let me make it stereo. So I'm gonna make 2 mixer buses. You don't have to do all this. This is just me being a little. There's a little tip. I don't like. You can keep it, but there's a little click at the beginning of a kick when you have a kick like this. I like to drag it like 1 or 2, so it gets rid of that. Listen. Just I think here compare. It's kind of hard to hear the difference, but when you play it, very obvious. And then here, I like it like that. Promise I like it like that. I kind of want a more iron sound here, so I'm gonna put a fruity delay. Another thing I like to do with Dariacore is I like to get a sample and then I cut it up while the chords and the bass are playing. So that's gonna give a nice effect. Now we have like basically the whole fundamentals of our thing. Of course we can add more to this. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. So I made this myself as well, which I can give a separate tutorial as well if you guys want that. For Breakdance Folly, I did it in FL Studio because I know that Breakdance uses Ableton, but you know I was able to recreate it, you know, using plugins on FL and non-natives. So let me also make sure that I have I want a micro shift on this, and then I also want a fab filter, and I want the bass higher, and of course the highs higher. Okay, so you know, after all the mixing and everything, I showed all the mixing. You don't really need a lot of mixing. You just need to understand how to mix something like this, because mixing is key in EDM. And you know, Fruity Soft Clipper, sidechain on the master, not a lot here, and then just an OTT. If I mute everything just with the things you can hear. Okay, I'm finished with it. So, you know, it's really easy. It's really easy. And once you learn the basics, you can start creating more experimental things. You know, I have a couple of things on I have my own little Dariacore account when I make Dariacore for fun. And, you know, this is the general same concept here. And not to plug, but, you know, it doesn't have a lot of followers. It's just a little thing, and I got a new one. And I know how to do a lot of things EDM. I know how to do like dubstep growls and stuff as well. So whatever tutorials y'all want next, you know, I could teach you some more sound designing things, because EDM is a lot of sound design. I'm kind of good with sound design now since I've been doing a lot of EDM. So if you guys want like a how to make your own drums tutorial or any type of sound design tutorials, you know, I could teach the little how you can do something like that. I could actually show that right now, so I'll get this. So something that's high frequency works really well with this. So I have my own preset here. It turns something like this into something like this. And it can do that with anything. So let's get this sound and then put it, and it sounds like, so it's the breakdance sound, right? And it's also how you make, what's that one genre called? It's like a lot of pianos. It's very ambiency. Has a botanica. So botanica folly on FL, you know. A lot of that type of music is made, like EDM specifically, is like Ableton. All the goats of EDM use like either Pro Tools or Ableton. I've been able to recreate a lot of those type of sounds on FL. So I think I'll do a whole separate EDM sound design / whatever thing if you guys want that, and if this video gets, you know, likes. You know, that's kind of the tutorial. You know what, I might also, if you guys want, I might make like a Patreon or something. I'll put these FOPs up for sale. If you want the FOP to study it, you know, that's, you know, if you guys want it. Tell me down below, comments, whatever next tutorial I should do is, and see ya.